All right, guys. All right, let's get rolling. My name is Scotty again. I'm your host for now, and I'm very excited tonight that I get to introduce to you our speaker for the night, guys. Very exciting stuff. I'm happy that you're here. You're in for a treat. The guy speaking tonight, guys, is a really good friend of mine. He comes from a background, he's a veteran from the Navy, served good years there, hopping around with the Marine Corps and the Naval Clinics, is a successful realtor of 18 years here in the Fredericksburg area, and has moved on to financial services here at PHP and is being very successful here. He's been handpicked by the company to expand along the East Coast, and you're really in for a treat tonight, guys. Take some notes. And Lance Christmas, my friend, are you on? Welcome.
Yeah, bud, I'm here. Can you hear me, Scotty?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
So welcome, everybody. Congratulations for coming out tonight. So you were either invited by someone that's a close friend or family to you, or you were actually invited by someone you either met on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. So what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna share with you the vision of why someone invited you out. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my story, about my background, how I got started with entrepreneurship, and then I'll get into what's happening now in our industry and why now is the time to take control of your finances. And then I'll get into how we actually get paid. So before I begin, let me just give anybody that's a veteran out there, let me say happy belated Veterans Day. I was a 10-year corpsman in the Navy, and I love serving my country. So it holds dear to my heart. So it was some great times that I had there. So that goes into my story a little bit. So prior to being with the PHP agency, I was actually a real estate agent, as Scotty had mentioned earlier, a real estate broker for 18 years. Good, successful, top producer, high six-figure income. I made Rookie of the Year, all the bells and whistles that you can think about. I'm married. I coach high school football. I coach travel baseball. I have 6 kids. And I say all that not to be braggadocious, but to just tell you I was busy. So as a real estate broker, like I said, very successful. Now with 6 kids, if I didn't go out and sell a house, my kids didn't eat, real simple. So I was constantly working, probably close to 90 hours a week, right? 90 hours a week selling homes, plus being a good father and husband and coaching. So I was pretty busy. So fast forward to where we are now. I'm 47 this year. So about 18 months ago, I started looking for a way that I could kind of leverage my time. And what I mean by leverage my time is I wanted to have high six-figure income, but I didn't want to have, I wanted to keep that high six-figure income, but I didn't want to sacrifice that time. So I started praying for a way that I could leverage my time. And it's funny, when God sends you something, you may have asked for something, it doesn't come in the form that you really think God's going to deliver to you. So I had a good friend of mine that I was stationed with in the military, was following me on social media. He saw how successful I was in real estate and thought I'd be a perfect fit for the financial industry. So when he called me up and said, hey, I got a business, I'm moving into Virginia, I think you'd be a perfect fit to spearhead what we're doing. So the first question I asked is, what's the name of the company? Second question is, what do you guys do? Well, he said the name of the company is called PHP. It stands for People Helping People. Well, for me, guys, it was strike one. I thought that was a pretty corny name for a company, right? Just being honest with you. The second thing he said is we help people make money, save money, get out of debt, and plan for a tax-free retirement. Well, for me, that was strike two. I'm used to working in real estate where we hustle. It's dog eat dog. We go get ours. I didn't want to really help anybody, just being honest. So then he said the third thing is a way that you can learn how to leverage your time. So of course I looked around thinking I was getting punked. So what happened was I said, okay, I'm gonna take a listen to what you have to say, because I didn't want to be that guy. You guys hear the story of somebody that's in a flood and they're sitting on top of a roof and they're praying for God to send help, and along comes a boat to help them. No thanks, God's gonna save me. All right, so the next thing, a helicopter comes. No thanks, God's gonna save me. He dies, goes to heaven. Ask God. He said, hey, I asked for help and you didn't save me. Well, I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. What more did you need? So I didn't want to be that guy. So I said, okay, Bill, I'll listen to what you have to say. I was completely blown away by some of the concepts about money and finance that I never knew about. So I came on board with the company, and I'm being honest with you. I came on board with the company just to prove it didn't work. I said, okay, I'm gonna give you 90 days and I'm gonna be coachable and listen to what you have to say. I played football. I know how to listen. I know how to be coachable. So fast forward 14 months later, guys, I replaced my real estate income. I still have my real estate license. I still love real estate, right? I still service certain clients here and there, but I'm not out working 90 hours a week looking for business to drum up business. I work 30 hours a week in this industry. 90% of the time I'm on Zoom, and full disclosure, I look good up top. I got on shorts and slides on the bottom, right? So I'm able to do this from the comfort of my own home and still create the same income I was making in real estate in less time. So I say all that not to say great Lance, but the opportunity that we have upon us. And as Scotty said, I've been handpicked by one of our senior vice presidents to expand the company across the East Coast. So I'm super excited. Right now, I'm in 27 different states helping expand the business across the country, and we'll be opening multiple offices in all those 27 states. So now you say to yourself, that sounds good for you, Lance, but what about me? What do you guys do? So real simple, we're what's called an FMO. It's a financial marketing organization. All that means is we market financial products on behalf of companies that you probably have heard of: MetLife, AIG, Mutual of Omaha, Nationwide Financial, a bunch of these Fortune 500 companies that most of you people are familiar with. So here's the challenge. That industry right now is shrinking. The average agent in that industry is 61, Caucasian, and male. Nothing at all wrong with that. But here's the first challenge at being 61. He's probably got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, probably thinking about retirement or golfing somewhere. The second challenge is this. They're having a tough time with distribution of their financial products. Now, MetLife, AIG, Mutual of Omaha, they don't care what color you are. They don't care about your age. They don't care about your background. All they care about is distribution of their financial products. Because check it out, most of us will do business with people that look like us, act like us, and talk like us. In our company, the PHP agency, we are that marketing arm for all those Fortune 500 companies, attracting people that look like us. We're attracting millennials, Gen Xers, women, minorities. The fastest growing population right now, the Latin American community, we're attracting that to our company. Our CEO, he's a 42-year-old Assyrian Armenian. Doesn't get any more diverse than that. He's a 101st Airborne U.S. Army veteran, and he's got a channel on YouTube called Valuetainment. His name's Patrick Bet-David. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him, Patrick Bet-David. His channel on YouTube is the #1 channel for entrepreneurs. He's got 2.6, almost 2.7 million subs on his channel. And what's cool is if you go to his YouTube channel, Valuetainment, and watched any of his content, you would never know he's the CEO of our firm. He doesn't use that platform to recruit, attract business. He's just real passionate about entrepreneurship. And what else is cool? Our board of directors, the people that are making decisions about our company, we have 2 African Americans, 2 Nigerian Americans, 3 Mexican Americans, 2 El Salvadorians, a Puerto Rican Cuban American, 2 Caucasian Americans, a Filipino American, and an African American Caucasian mixed. That's our diversity in the melting pot of a company that's making decisions about what we do. Our top income earner is an African-American, Caucasian mixed 34-year-old female. This year, right now, is at $1.9 million. She'll finish the year over $2 million of income in less than 5 years in this industry. And this industry is normally a good old boy industry that deals with cigars and whiskey. The PHP agency flipped it on its side and reversed it. So a little bit more diversity of what we do. We had last year in August at our national conference in Vegas, we had the late, great Kobe Bryant as our keynote speaker. The year before that, we had Kevin Hart. Now, what insurance company do you guys know that has Kobe Bryant or Kevin Hart as a keynote speaker? We're just a different type of company looking for different types of people to go out there, serve the community, and make a part-time income. Now, our biggest thing that we want to do, guys, is we want to educate people. We want to educate people on money, on finance, on the things I talked about earlier. So I'll give you a little background on me growing up. My parents loved me to death, took great care of me, taught me everything. And I said to my mom a couple months ago, you know, I never learned anything about money and finance at home. And she said, well, honey, I taught you. You just didn't listen. And so I started thinking, either in our households, we're not taught about these things, or we just don't listen. But most of the people I've talked to lately, they're not taught about money and finance in their house. They're not taught about how taxes work. And then take it a little step further. Let's think about this. Everyone in here, most people probably went to high school, right? In high school, we take a class called home economics. Now, in that home economics class, what are we taught? I was taught how to bake. I was taught how to sew. And yeah, I can sew, guys, believe it or not. I can sew because of what I learned in home economics years ago. I was also taught how to take care of an egg as if it was my baby, right? I had to carry an egg around in a little styrofoam cup and not break it. So I say all that. Maybe that's why I have 6 kids now. I don't know, because of that home economics. But think of the word home economics. Nowhere in there did we learn about economics, how money works. So entrepreneurs are paid based off of the size of the problems we can solve. The PHP agency, the SOS financial agency, which I'm a part of, we're solving 3 problems. The first problem I talked about earlier was distribution. We're solving the problem for those Fortune 500 companies, the top 500 companies in the world. We're solving problems, helping them with distribution of their financial products. The second problem we're solving is financial literacy. I just talked about it. Where in America today are we taught about money? Are we taught about finance? How to balance a checkbook or banking account, or how taxes actually work? Why you should not overfund your 401k. We're not taught any of that. And then we make mistakes in our 20s, as I did. We recover and pay for it in our 30s and 40s. And then the third problem we're solving is entrepreneurship. Where in America are we taught about business ownership? If you look at the school system, guys, the school system is taught to teach you how to be an employee. Where are we taught to become a business owner? There's no class in any high school that I know that teaches us how to become a business owner. We've got to change the way that we think. So in our company, we teach entrepreneurship. So I have a PhD, right? A public high school diploma. But yet I was able to make a good high 6-figure income learning how to be an entrepreneur. So I'm going to shift my gears real quick, and I'm going to teach you 2 things. One, I'm going to show you, if you were a client working with us, how we educate our clients on some of our products. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you is if you were an agent working with us, how you would get paid. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. As long as this fancy iPad Pro cooperates. All right. I know we have some Android users out there that are, all right. Well, see, as I talk bad about the Android, my iPad stopped sharing. So I apologize, Android users. Send me some good juju so it won't stop. All right. Uh-oh. All right. Well, you know what? Is there anyone? Hold on. Give me a second, guys. For some reason, my iPad is now mad at me. See, I shouldn't have talked bad about you guys. So I don't know if you can do this for me, Greg Brown. Are you able to boot up yours?
Yes, sir. What do you need, a Crusade?
Yeah. If you could boot that up where we show earn a secondary income as a life insurance agent.
Got it. Yep.
So Greg Brown is one of our newest brokers in the company. And I'm super excited to have him as a business partner. So would you mind illustrating for me as I talk, Greg? Is that okay?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So right here, you guys, you see where it says earn a secondary income as a life insurance agent. The reason it says a secondary income, because most of our agents start part-time. Okay, so if you're saying to yourself, I don't have a lot of time. If you have 4 to 8, maybe 10 hours a week to learn these concepts, you're in business. You can work with us. And to let you know, never in my life that I think I would ever say I was a life insurance agent. Now that I'm involved with the company, I found out that this is the second highest paid profession next to professional sports. So you have LeBron James, Tom Brady, and financial services. So it's pretty good company. So the first one I'm going to go over, you see right there, it says a term, right? A term is kind of like renting. It could be for a specific amount of time, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Let's say we have a 30-year term. And in that 30-year term, we have a 34-year-old female. She's going to be covered for 30 years. So she's good till she's 64. If she was to pass away between that time frame, she's going to bless her family with $500,000. Now, the beautiful thing about this term policy is it's very cheap. It's only $50 a month. I spent $50 taking my wife out to lunch. No big deal. So if you were an agent with us, how would you get paid? So $50 a month, MetLife and Nationwide and AIG, they say, thank you very much. We're going to advance you 12 months of the premium. So 50 times that 12, that's $600. At the 50% contract level where most of our agents are, you're going to make $300 for an hour to 2 hours worth of work. Now let's pause for a second. Where in America today are people paid $300 for 1 hour's worth of work legally? No places that I know. So that's great for us as an agent. So what's in it for the client? The first thing, they're protected for 30 years. So if they pass away, they leave their family members $500,000. The second thing is it's cheap. And as I tell my kids, there's pros and cons with everything in life. It's cheap. The downside to this is it does expire. So this may not be a good fit long-term. So I ask people, are you usually healthier in your 20s or your 40s or 50s? Most people will say you're healthier when you're younger. So this may be a good fit when you're younger, but not a good fit long-term. Now, the second one that I have right there where you see it says ROP. So the ROP is still a term. So it's still going to be for a specific amount of time. So let's take the same example, 30 years. You have a 34-year-old female. She's going to be covered till she's 64. And if she passes away between that time frame, she's going to bless her family with $500,000. It's a little bit more expensive. It's $100 a month. Now, as an agent, how do we get paid? Again, MetLife, AIG, Mutual of Omaha, all these top-rated companies. They say, Christopher, thank you very much for introducing us to your sphere of influence, your family, your friends, and protecting them. We're going to advance you 12 months of the premium. 12 times 100 is $1,200. At that 50% contract level, that's $600 for an hour to 2 hours worth of work. Most of America right now will have to punch a clock in and clock out for a full week to make $600. And that's before taxes. We get paid that in an hour to 2 hours worth of work. Same amount of time, different product. Now, what does ROP mean? So I see Jerome on my screen. Jerome, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's good, Jerome? So Jerome, do you have car insurance, brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who do you have?
Geico.
Okay, cool. So say Geico called you up today, right? They said, Jerome, I got this sweet deal going on right now. If you sign up with us, we'll cover you like normal if you have any accidents. But if you have no accidents for the next 10 years, we're going to give you back all the money you gave us. Would you sign up with that?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So would I. But we don't have that in car insurance, Jerome. But we do have it in life insurance. That's what that ROP stands for right there. It's return of premium. So what's in it for the client? As we talked about, if she were to pass away, that's $500,000. Now, at age 65, the term expires and she receives a refund of $36,000. Now, Jerome, prior to talking to us today, did you know that you could get a refund on life insurance?
No, sir.
No. So now, Jerome, if you didn't know that, how many people that you know and love and care about don't know that also?
Probably everybody.
So don't you think these people need to learn about these concepts?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So that's great for the client. There's a full refund. And the downside to this one, real simple, it does expire, right? So this is attractive to a lot of real estate agents. So if you know mortgage brokers, real estate agents, people that are homeowners, this is real good for mortgage protection insurance. All right. So now the third one that I'm going to go over, it's called a UL IUL. So Jerome, if I were to ask you a question, I'm going to say, okay, you're in the market for life insurance. How long do you want your life insurance to last, Jerome?
At least until I die, I guess. I don't know.
It lasts forever, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So that's what I would say too. So this right here, what you see, Jerome, is a permanent policy. So it's never going to expire. So you have that same 34-year-old female. Now she's protected till she passes. And as she passes away, she's going to bless her family with $500,000. So now you see here, it's $250 a month. So as an agent working with us, that's $250 a month. Again, MetLife and AIG and Mutual of Omaha. Again, they say, Jerome, thank you very much for introducing us to your circle of influence, your family, your friends. We're going to advance you 12 months of that premium. That 12 times 250 is $3,000. That's at that 50% contract level, that's $1,500, again, for an hour to 2 hours worth of work. Now, most people will have to work 2 weeks, clocking in, clocking out, to make $1,500. Now, I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. And this isn't to put myself on a pedestal, but in the real estate industry, $1,500 isn't really that big of a deal to make, right? So this isn't what attracted me to this compensation. What attracted me to this was something called residual income. So is it Akela?
It's Aquila.
Akila, I was close, close. So Akila, do you know what residual income is?
I've heard the term, but
Okay. So residual income is income that comes into you after the work has been done.
okay.
So you may be familiar with royalties. You do the work and you continue to get paid for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Right? So that's residual income. So now for what we're saying here, at $3,000 a month, the companies that I mentioned earlier will pay us a 2% bonus every year for the life that they own this policy. 2% of $3,000 is $60. That's not a big deal, right? In the grand scheme of things, $60 every year for the rest of my life. That's just one policy though. That's just one person. Imagine if you help 2, 3, and 4 families a week, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 families a month. And now let's fast forward that 18 years, right? I had an 18-year career in real estate. Imagine if I got a 2% commission bonus for every house I sold for the life that person owned that house. Exactly. If that was the case, we probably wouldn't be talking right now. I'd probably be on an island somewhere with shorts and slides on like I have now, but I'd have a stiff drink in my hand, right? But so that's great for us as agents. Now, what's in it for the client? First things first, it's a permanent policy. It's never going to expire. The second thing that's in it for the client, it builds up something called cash value, very similar to a bank account, but it's going to give you a rate of anywhere from 0 to 9% annually. Now, I'm not going to unmute anybody, but think about it. If you think about your individual bank accounts, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, PNC, Navy Fed, what interest rate do they give you on your savings account? Probably about 0.001%. So this allows you to grow cash at somewhere between 0 to 9% guaranteed. You also have tax-free access to this money. And here's what I mean by tax-free access. There's an IRS section 7702 that will allow you to grow this money, very similar to how people grow their 401ks and 403bs, but you can access it with no penalties. You don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half, and you don't have to pay it back. Concepts that we don't learn about. You have member benefits, very similar to that of like a AAA benefits. We have one of our carriers, Foresters. They're a nonprofit. They have grants and scholarships to kids. If the parents pass away, they'll give the guardians X amount of money to take care of the kids, plus the death benefit until the kids turn 18. Now, there's also flexible payments on this. What do I mean by that? So right here, we got $250. Let's say, I don't know, some crazy virus from China comes over here and tough times hit. And now that $250 is going to be a little struggle on a couple months. You can actually go down and pay as little as, say, $85 a month and still keep your death benefit in force. So at $85, you pass away that month, your family still gets a $500,000 death benefit. Now, the other side is also good as well. You may say, hey, I got a bonus. I got a stimulus check. I got an unemployment check, whatever. You can actually pay more money into this, and that extra money goes into that cash value account that we talked about, and it grows at a guaranteed rate of 0 to 9% annually. And then we also have something called living benefits. So a lot of people ask me, what does that mean? Well, real simple. If I say, explain life insurance to me, you'd probably say, if I die, somebody gets my money. Well, that's true. This says if you die, someone gets your money, but it also says if you become critically injured, chronically ill, or terminally ill, you can access a portion of that $500,000 while you're still alive to cover medical expenses, to cover living expenses, to cover things not covered on your health insurance. The challenge is we don't know about these things. So the last thing I'm going to go over as I wrap up is something here called an annuity. A lot of people wonder what an annuity is. For simplicity's sakes, I'm not sure if you can scroll, Greg, or not. All right, thank you. So life insurance, as we were just talking about, life insurance protects your life. An annuity protects your money. Real simple. You may have an old 401k, an old TSP, an IRA, money sitting in other different accounts. We're able to move that money into an account with no fees, for free, to one of our carriers and protect it from any market losses at all. And it's guaranteed to continue to grow no matter what happens. So for the sake here, let's just say it's $100,000. MetLife and AIG and Fidelity and Guarantee, they're going to pay us 8.5% to move that money for you. We make $8,500 just for helping protect somebody's money. At that 50% contract level, that's $4,250, again, for an hour to 2 hours worth of work. I actually had an appointment last Sunday that was 45 minutes and they had $167,000. So for 45 minutes, $167,000, you guys can take out your iPhones and do the math on that one in a 45-minute appointment. So as I wrap up here, guys, I'm talking to 3 different types of people. The first types of people I'm talking to says, Lance, this makes total sense. I have an extra 4 to 8 hours a week. I want to learn these concepts and make money and win for my family. The second people I'm talking to is you may say, hey, it makes sense, but I have some more questions. Okay. The third group I'm talking to, you may say, hey, that sounds great, but I don't think this industry is for me. But some of these concepts I'm real open to learning about. So what's going to happen is someone's going to drop in the chat box a Google Doc. So if you have a computer, it's right down there. You'll see a chat bubble. If you have a cell phone, if you click the 3 dots that are up, I think, on your top right, and then open up the chat, you'll see a Google Doc. And you can say, hey, I'm ready to get started today. And I'll go over in a second how that works. You could say, hey, I have some questions. And one of our brokers will reach out to you to get your questions answered. Or you may say, hey, I'd love a free consultation to learn how I can help my family with these concepts. So one of these 3 categories we fall into. So fill out that Google Doc and we'll be in touch with you. So as I wrap up, you say, hey, this makes sense. I have 4 to 8 hours a week. I can see myself doing something like this. Well, the first question I have to ask you, and don't get offended, is are you able to pass a background check? Do you have any felonies or taxing, anything tied to money? Maybe a tough time getting you appointed. And in the future, not something you need to do tonight, you're going to need to be licensed in the state that you're doing business in. We're in a highly regulated industry. So your licensing fees, depending upon what state you're in, is going to range from $100 up to, if you're in California, about $300. And then that's in the future. And then the next step is getting started with us tonight. It's a real simple platform fee of $199. Now, what that platform fee does for you, a couple things. It builds a back office for you. It's a $10 million system, and you have a back office built for you. In that back office, it takes care of your compliance, which in a regulated industry is very important. It takes care of payroll, which we're in this industry to make money. It connects you to our home office in Dallas, Texas. It also connects you to all the 20 plus Fortune 500 carriers that we have. And then most importantly, it also allows you to tap into all the training that we have. We have a complete plug and play system for training. We have training Monday morning, Monday evenings. We have Tuesday morning skills training, Tuesday evening team training. We have some Wednesday morning skills training, Thursday evening and Thursday morning trainings, and early Saturday morning boot camp and Saturday afternoon training. On top of that, we have a 5-week certified field trainer academy that will teach you how to conceptually go out and educate your clients, your friends, your family members on all these different concepts about money and finance. So with all that being said, if the $199 is not a problem, I don't see any reason why you don't get started today unless you do. But you may say, hey, $199, Christmas is coming up. Thanksgiving's coming up. Okay, so let's take the money off the table right now. We're life insurance agents. We live in and work in guarantees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guarantee you 3 things. The first one is you come on board with us tonight. I'm going to guarantee you're going to be with one of the top field trainers in the company. And you're going to go out and we're going to talk to one of your family members, friends, coworkers, somebody in your circle of influence. That person at some point in time is going to die. Unfortunately, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years. But when they pass away, you talk to them about life insurance and protections. They're going to bless their family with $500,000, $250,000, $100,000. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? To me, that's a freaking great thing, right? The second thing is you're going to be hanging around us, learning about money and finance, reading money and finance books, watching different financial videos. You're going to learn what an ETF is. You're going to learn what that tax code 7702 is. You're going to learn tax code 73A, 101A, 73B. You're going to learn what these different tax codes are. You're going to learn how to work in a tax never bucket. And let's just say 6 months from now, you say to yourself, hey, this PHP thing is just not for me. But you've learned more about money and finance and put your family in a better financial situation. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? For me, for $199 investment to learn more about money, that's a great thing. Think about how much we spend on college with no guarantee of getting a job when you graduate. The third thing, and the most important to me as a man, as a father, is you're going to be running with some of the top income earners in the country. You're going to be reading books. You're going to be listening to books. You're going to be watching growth videos. Your personal development is going to go through the roof. You're going to become a better father, a better mother, a better wife, a better husband. You're going to be bit by the entrepreneur bug. Even if you say, hey, 6 months, this PHP thing is not for me. What you've learned and gained in entrepreneurship knowledge, you're going to take that growth and impact your kids, your community, maybe even the government. So if any of those 3 guarantees fit with you, which I think it's worth $199 to me. Wouldn't you guys agree? So with that said, again, I don't see any reason why you don't get started unless you do. So with that, check the group chat, and then I'm gonna turn it back over to our host, Scotty Hendricks, and you guys have a fantastic evening.
Great job. Thank you.
Awesome
Lance.
job, Lance. Thanks, bud.
Thanks, Lance.
Thank you so much.
And,
Thanks,
teaching,
Lance.
it's always good stuff. So guys, check out the link at the bottom if you need to. We're here for phone calls. If you need to call in, okay? Guys, have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scotty.
Okay.